Hey guys, welcome back to Griffin Airgun Ammo. Today we're going to be taking a look at the EDGUN Matador R5 in 22 caliber. We're going to be shooting a 218 24 grain cut base at 70 yards. We'll get we'll get some chronograph numbers and all that kind of good stuff. So real quick, I guess I'll just walk you guys through the rifle. This is 22 caliber. We got the Donnie FL adapter on here with a small Donnie, and on top we've got the Optica 6. This is a really cool scope. It's my first time really playing with this. I'm digging it quite a bit. Got the scope cam set up, so we'll get you guys some scope cam footage. I'm gonna go run down, set up the target camera real quick, and then we will get to shooting. All right, hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to show you a trick about loading these rotary style magazines. Turn the autofocus back on here for a second. All right, so, well, that's not wanting to focus. There you go. All right, so you guys can see how the slugs are recessed down in the magazine. So after you load these up, you'll want to just take it with the hollow points facing down and just kind of smack it like that to get the slugs to seat. That way you won't wind up with the slugs popping out backwards as you're shooting. I've had that issue with my Hatsons and anything with these kind of style magazines. It's just something, unless your slugs are long enough. So primarily just with short slugs. All right. Helps if you cock it. Still getting used to this gun. All right, good deal. All right, so we got a target cam set up down there. I'm gonna be shooting, this first group's gonna be the 24 grains, and then I got some 22 grain LDCs loaded up. These are all 218 cut base. So we're gonna shoot at the top left bullseye on the fresh target, and then we're gonna move over to the top right bullseye on the target. We're just gonna shoot a full mag each one. Radar's armed. Make sure I got my scope cam running. There we go. So I'm gonna be holding 1 mil. All right, that's it. Skeeters are eating me up. Uh-oh, I need chronograph error. All right, figure this out real quick and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Get her arm back up. All right, so this is gonna be the 22 grain 218 LDC cut base. Sorry if you guys see me swatting a whole bunch. There's like a million mosquitoes out here and they are trying to suck me dry. So this is gonna be top left bullseye on the same target we were just shooting at. I'm just gonna use the same hold at 1 mil. Getting a little wind picking up, but not bad. Get off, lady. Sorry. I hate mosquitoes. Making me shake around a little bit. All right, that's it. Ah! All right. All right, we'll go take a look at the groups real quick and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Had to put on a long sleeve shirt to deal with these mosquitoes. These things are vicious right now. It just got done raining, so these things are out and about. So now we're gonna try my DREAMlINE tack with the same slug. We'll shoot the bottom 2 targets. And then after this, I think the rain's gonna hold off. I'm gonna set up a table with another block of ballistics gel down there. And I wanna show you guys a new LDC that we're working on that has some slightly different properties. And we'll do a comparison between a solid slug, a 24 grain or a 22 grain normal LDC, and the new LDC that we're coming out with, and we'll show you the different properties that they have, and those should be available pretty soon. So first, we're going to go ahead and just shoot a group with the DREAMlINE, and we'll see what kind of results we get with this. So we'll do the bottom left target for the 24 grains. Make sure microphone's in the right spot. I think that should be okay. Well, let me get my scope cam set up for you guys. All right, here we go. We're just gonna do a 1 mil hold again. Kind of lost track of how many we shot there, but we should be getting close to the same size group as the EDGUN. All right, we'll stop it right there. All right. Good deal. All right. So I'm gonna take, oh, mosquito. I'm gonna take a break real quick. We'll be right. All right, so real quick, the sun came out for just a brief second. We got the slow motion camera running down there. We're gonna turn the chronograph back on and we're gonna shoot a standard 24 grain, the ones we just shot. We're gonna shoot one into the gel and see what it looks like on the at 70 yards. All right, so here we go. We'll do this one on the backside. All right. Set this down real quick. So next we're gonna do a 22 grain regular LDC. These are the ones we've been making for a while. Then we're gonna do the new LDC. All right, set this back down. Then we'll shoot a group with these after I get done with the gel here. All right, good deal. So we'll go check out what the Ballistics gel looks like here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a group with these real fast on target. I'm gonna turn the target cam back on real fast and we'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and shoot a group with these real quick. Be a little winded, so I might be a little shaky. I'm not gonna put the scope cam on this, but I do have the target cam running. We're gonna use the same hold. Oh yeah, I'm shaking. This is not gonna be the best group. we'll call that good. I've pulled probably 3 or 4 of those. I am a little breathing heavy from running back to the target real quick. All right. Yeah. Alright, hey guys, so sit down on the table right here. So this was the EDGUN with the 24 grain slugs right here. That's pretty good. I pulled one, but that's about a thumb size group at 70 yards. Not too bad. Then this was the LDC right here. Again, about a thumb size group. Pretty much just chewed a hole out. Both of these were full mags. Then down here we did the DREAMlINE. This is the 24. I pulled a couple of these, but it also, some of them, I had like a flyer or two, which was probably my tune on that rifle, to be honest. And then these I pulled that for sure, and I pulled that one. These two just kind of wandered off, but the rest of those grouped up pretty good. And this was the new LDC that we'll show you guys in the ballistics gel when we get back to the house. And then I was just messing around with the condor right there, but pretty impressive with the EDGUN. Gotta say, for just, you know, being a regular Lothar Walther barrel, I guess EDGUN puts a different choke on them than some of the other manufacturers, but real good. Alright guys, so we're back at the house. It's the next day. I went ahead and cut the slugs out of the gel. I'm not going to do that on camera because this video is already getting a little too long for the length that I'd like to keep these. So to keep it a little bit shorter, I didn't cut it out on camera. I just took the measurements. I've got the slugs here. We're going to show you on my GoPro. And I wrote down the penetration measurements to give you guys kind of a feel for what the differences were. So right here, this was the 24 grain cut base. This was the solid. And this is the one that we shot first. And so you can see it had pretty good expansion, but not like nothing really crazy insane. Retained all of its weight, so this slug still weighs 24 grains. I'll go ahead and get you the mics on here so you can see this for yourself, what the total expansion was. Alright, so we got, that's in millimeters. Oops, I just knocked it out. Click it over to inches for you guys here in the States. Since I guess we can't really ship these internationally yet. Anyway, we're still working on that. If I can get this stupid thing to stay in my calipers. Bear with me, technical difficulties. Shit's getting real. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see that. Because my camera just timed out, so I can't tell if you can see that. Alright, so the expansion on that was about 0.320-ish, 0.37-ish, or 0.317, if I can speak. So that was the 24 grain. That's just the solid, regular hollow point. This is the second one that we shot. This is the LDC. This is the original LDC, so this is what's currently uplisted on the website and on eBay and all that stuff. So I don't know if you guys can see this too well, but that's the back of it. So real jagged, deformed quite a lot. And I'll put a still picture in here and we'll talk about the wound cavity that these created and how it changes and like the energy dump and all that kind of good stuff. So this one, you know, even though it's really mangled, didn't really expand any bigger than the cut base, the solid. Although it did dump more energy faster, it had a bigger wound cavity at its entrance, And we'll show you that in the still, or if you go back to the part in the video where I'm showing the gel block, you'll see that at the very beginning it just opened up a big pocket and then it kind of got skinny as the core of it, the remaining section of this slug here, kept on traveling. So what's interesting is the way that they dump their energy. The 24 grain is a much more symmetric energy dump, like it hits and drives until it's out of energy. The LDC rapidly expands, dumps a lot of energy at the very beginning, and then will penetrate a little bit farther after it sheds its nose. Then this is the new LDC. So this is a 22 caliber. This thing opened up as much as, I mean, some of the 25s. The expansion on this was pretty phenomenal. Get this on the calipers here, because this is the one I'm pretty excited about. I can struggle, man. The struggle is real. Alright, so we got, hopefully you guys could see that, 0.374. That is impressive. So we had quite a bit more expansion with this, and you guys can see how, like, that just turned into a flat disc essentially. So there's the front, there's the side, and there's the back. So the only weight that this lost was the weight of the bead in the center. Other than that, it retained all of its lead mass. Unlike the LDC, which even at 70 yards was still shedding petals of lead. And so why we came up with this different design is for guys that are, you know, if you're going hunting for food, you probably don't want to be picking like small flakes of lead out of what you're hunting, or out of your dinner. So having that crazy terminal performance for small game that's not going to pollute your meat is kind of what my thinking was behind this. And it works really, really well. And it also has the least amount of penetration. So the penetration that I measured on the 24 grain had a total penetration of 4 3/4 inches, which is pretty decent for 70 yards. Definitely not bad by any means. The LDC penetrated to 3 1/4 inches and then snapped back to about 4 inches. So the penetration on the LDC and the 24 grain was about the same. It was just really the difference in the wound cavity, how fast the slug opened up. So on small game where you don't have a lot of tissue to facilitate expansion, you might want something that opens up a little bit faster to get that energy dump and energy transfer into your target. Whereas the 22 grain, the new LDC penetrated to a maximum of 3 3/4 inches and snapped back to about 3 inches. So we had about, on average, an inch less total penetration with the new LDC. And so it lost its energy a lot faster in the gel, which means it delivered more energy to a smaller area. So really nice for small game hunting, maybe not as good for big game or bigger animals. So something to keep in mind. This is all kind of purpose-made ammo. So that way you can get the right slug for the exact application that you're going after. So anyway, that's enough about the slugs as far as the new LDC goes. Just wanted to give you guys an introduction. Leave a message in the comments. What do you think about the difference between these three slugs? Do you see there being a difference? Would you like to have all three of these available to you, or would you just like to have, the solid and maybe one option of an LDC? So let us know what you think about that. And to maybe kind of respond to one of the viewer questions that we had about, has anybody tried these out of choked pellet barrels? So hopefully this was kind of a demonstration that you don't necessarily have to have something with a slug liner or a slug specific barrel in it. This DREAMlINE has a 600 millimeter 22 cal slug liner in it. This is the slug A liner, the original slug A liner. And this shoots really well. It shoots, I probably could have worked on my tune a little bit. Usually it doesn't shoot over an inch at 70 yards, but some of that could have been me, some of that could have been a tune. It's hard to tell. But the EDGUN actually outshot the DREAMlINE. So this thing, which is pretty much bone stock, this is exactly how you would get it if you bought one of these yourself, Lothar Walther barrel. This thing actually outshot a rifle that had a dedicated slug barrel in it. So, you know, that's kind of just food for thought, whether or not, I think some of it's going to come down to power. You know, obviously this gun has enough power to shoot this, and it's not even cranked up all that hot. I don't think we've really tuned it too much since we got it. Maybe just a little bit, but overall, very impressed with the EDGUN. This is definitely going to be probably one of the next rifles that makes it into my personal collection. This one is Mike's, and we're loving this thing. I love everything about it. So, without getting too much into the guns, because that's not what we're really here to talk about, we're just trying to talk about accuracy and kind of show you guys, you know, what we got going on here. So, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you're new here, this is kind of the premise of the channel. We're going to be using slugs and multiple rifles, talking about the characteristics of them, doing testing with them. And before I forget, the BC on these slugs is around 0.89, sorry, for the 24 grain. You're going to be the same for the 217 and 218. So, for any of you guys that are having questions, I'm still putting together my spreadsheets to put on the website. I've been getting sidetracked with all the YouTube videos, so it's been a little bit slower progress than I would have liked. But that stuff is coming. If you have a slug that you're curious about, you just leave me a message in the comments. I will get back to you. You know, the channel's pretty small right now, so it's real easy for me to reply to all the comments that we get. Unless it's like hate mail, I probably won't respond to that. But for anything that's like a legitimate question or anything like that, I am more than happy to take the time to get back to you guys. So if you've got a question about BCs or anything like that, let me know. I can calculate it for you and get right back to you. I am working on putting up comprehensive data sheets on the website, so that'll be coming in the future. So next, I think either next video, unless we get some suggestions from you guys on what you'd like to see, I'm either going to revisit the Texan, because after I shot that video, it dawned on me that I could have shot a lot more. And I also didn't really have the gun cranked up that much. It was kind of like in like a mid-power range. So it was good to see that the slug did what it did at 400 foot-pounds, but that gun can go way beyond that. So we'll probably either redo or maybe do an additional Texan video, maybe try out a different slug. Let me know what you guys think. That, or we can do an accuracy video with the Condor, because I get a lot of questions about that. What do you recommend for the Condor in 25 caliber? I want to go coyote hunting, stuff like that. Personally, my favorite slug is the 44 grain. In either hollow point configuration, I like the wide tip hollow point. Seems to shoot a little bit better for me. But so we might do a video with that, and I'll show you guys how I got it tuned and all that kind of stuff. So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, let me know. I'll do that video next. The twist rates video, it's in progress. I got some books talking about it, so I've got other very experienced ballistic experts also doing the same kind of research, and so I just want to double check my results to make sure that what I'm studying is correct and not going to be leading you guys down the wrong path or giving you the wrong information. So just bear with me on that video. It should be a good video when it comes out, and it'll have a lot of kind of explanations as far as, you know, what's too heavy, and, you know, overstabilization an issue, understabilization, what's the cause and effect of that kind of stuff. So all right guys, I'm gonna probably wrap this up before this gets too long. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, you know, like it, share it, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff, and we'll have another video out next week. Sorry for the delay on this week's video. It's been raining pretty consistently, screwing up my plans, so it took an extra day or two to get this one out. So anyway, you guys, I will see you next time. Have a good one.